If you're cruising to Skagway, Alaska, chances are you've already heard about the White Pass and Yukon Route Railroad. But here's the question almost nobody answers. Should you book the popular Summit Excursion or spend the extra time and money to continue all the way to Bennett Lake? Well, that's exactly what we wanted to find out. And by the end of this video, we'll help you decide which excursion is right for you. So come along with us and let's figure out what this excursion is all about.
Skagway. We're going on a choo-choo train. Choo-choo! I gotta get this.
Hello. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I gotta get it.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you. This is it.
When we first started looking at excursions in Skagway, Alaska, our first thoughts were probably the same as yours. We want to do the White Pass and Yukon Route Railroad. But our next thought was, can we book it ourselves and maybe save a little extra money? But when we checked the official website, cruise passengers were directed to book directly through their ship's shore excursion department. And honestly, that made our decision really simple. It wasn't should we book the train, it was which White Pass train excursion should we book?
Passport and tickets out, please.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
They got multiple excursions going out requiring a bus.
In this protocol, you can't walk out any longer because they had some, I think it was a landslide or something like that.
So they'll take your shuttle bus up.
Yeah, you have to take a shuttle bus to the outside anyways, regardless if you're doing an excursion or not.
Yep. Probably. Well, we're going on a choo-choo train. The bus actually has a bathroom.
We did make it. We made it, and they didn't leave us, so. Okay, so right here to our left is the train y'all are gonna be on it. Look, I think they're probably just waiting on us. Just hang tight for 1 sec. I'm gonna see what train car they're gonna have y'all get on. I'll come back and let y'all know what car to get.
So today, we're taking one of Alaska's most popular cruise excursions. But unlike most passengers, we're not just stopping at the summit.
Woo!
Yes!
Wait, choo-choo! Choo-choo!
We're riding the railroad all the way to Bennett Lake before returning to Skagway by bus. Along the way, we'll show you exactly what makes these two excursions different and whether we'd choose the longer journey again.
Brielle, what's your name?
What is it?
Brielle.
Brielle, Michael.
Michael.
Andrea.
Andrea. I like it. Michael and Andrea.
They're calling you.
I don't know. We do officially have all of our passports.
We're choo-chooing. Let's see if we can get a wave. Can we get a wave? We can get a wave, baby! Woo! Woo! We're choo-chooing. Oh man, this is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be awesome. Is it okay if I'm here?
Oh yeah, after you get out of town you can.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All vacation. All vacation.
There is absolutely no crossing from car to car.
I didn't go to the other car.
Hello everyone, my name is Emily, and I'll be your train narrator today. We've also got 2 more fantastic tour guides on board our train, and now that we all know how to safely ride our train now, I can officially welcome you aboard the famous White Pass and Yukon Route Railroad, constructed over 125 years ago during the Klondike Gold Rush.
Today we'll be traveling the full 67.5-mile White Pass and Yukon route from Skagway to Carcross and make a stop at the historic Bennett Townsite at mile marker 40.6. As we travel, we'll point out some of the major landmarks and share a little of the history behind the railroad and the Klondike Gold Rush, before ending in Carcross in the Yukon Territory of Canada. This railroad was built during the Klondike Gold Rush, climbing nearly 3,000 feet through terrain that still feels almost impossible today. And honestly, it's easy to understand why this train has become one of the most popular excursions in all of Alaska. On the full route map, you'll notice the dotted line at the White Pass summit, marking the international border between the United States and Canada. Everything leading up to the summit is included in the shorter Summit Excursion, but today we're going to continue beyond this point to find out what the full route is really like. At mile marker 5.5, we passed the Denver station, an original White Pass stop where freight and mail were once handled. But today, this historic caboose has been converted to a rustic overnight rental cabin for hikers on the Denver Glacier Trail. At Rocky Point, mile 6.9, we get one of our first sweeping views back towards the Skagway Valley. From here, you might be able to see Skagway, Lynn Canal, Mount Harding, and Harding Glacier in the distance.
You can pretty much get out and touch the side here, but you don't want to do it. Right there, boom. Oh, look at this. Look how high up we are. Aye, aye, aye is right. Don't look down. Oh, don't look down. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Don't look old, boy. Don't look down. Oh, man, I love it.
We're getting ready to go over our first bridge. It's so... I can't... Oh my god.
Aye, aye, aye. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Man. We're up high. It even gets higher than this.
Look at this, Michael. Oh my god.
We literally just got on and bang, it's already exciting, just like that. Bang. The people that work on this train are amazing too. They really are. Everybody here does a great job.
This curved bridge crosses the East Fork of the Skagway River near Denver. It's also where the White Pass Railroad begins tackling some of the steepest grades on the climb towards the summit. At mile marker 8.5, a small red shelter marking what was once a stop for the railroad workers and maintenance crews. These small structures provided shelter and a place to meet the train on request. And right here is Buchanan Rock at mile marker 8.8. Buchanan Rock is named for Thomas Buchanan, builder of the original White Pass Trail. This visible mark helped early travelers know they were on the right track through the rugged and remote terrain. And looking across the valley, you can see On to Alaska with Buchanan. The hillside message was painted by a tour group that regularly traveled from Detroit to Skagway during the early 1900s. At mile marker 11.5, Bridal Veil Falls descends more than 5,000 feet from the glaciers on Mount Cleveland and Mount Clifford. You can only see sections of the fall through the trees, so this one is one of those places where you really need to know exactly what to watch for.
Michael,
Yeah.
look at
Look
this.
at that over there.
Woo, look at that.
Waterfall, you gotta get that. Look at it, it's coming from all the way at the top of the mountain, working its way all the way down.
Just past the Henley station, we get a clear view across the valley towards Slippery Rock. It's pale granite stained by the constant water seepage. And carved into the mountainside above it is the railroad's High Line, the track our train will soon be climbing towards Tunnel Mountain.
That's where we're going. We're heading up there. That's where we're gonna be, all the way up there. There's a bridge over there, that wooden bridge. We're gonna be crossing that wooden bridge way over there.
Oh, so awesome, isn't it?
Unbelievable. A must do, for sure.
And we're getting great weather.
The
It's not
weather
too cold.
is, look at, I'm in Alaska and I just got a long sleeve shirt on.
Amazing.
Oh yeah, we're getting higher and higher. Oh, I just choked on your head. We're getting higher and higher, baby. The sky's the limit.
Now here's a little tip that's more important for those traveling on the Bennett Journey Excursion as opposed to the Summit Excursion. Summit passengers will usually ride the railroad in both directions, but on the Bennett Journey you'll only be traveling north by train. So, with all the beauty ahead, just remember to turn around and look behind you, because sometimes that view is even more spectacular.
Waterfalls, beautiful mountains.
At Tunnel Mountain, mile 16, the railroad curves high above Glacier Gorge and enters the first tunnel along this route. Completed in 1899, this section was one of the greatest engineering challenges faced by the original builders.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
We're going in a tunnel, baby. Look at the views here. The views here are unbelievable.
Inspiration Point, mile 17, can be one of the most breathtaking views on the route. From here, you can see all the way down the valley to Skagway and Lynn Canal on a very clear day. This is one of the highest and most dramatic overlooks included on both the Summit and Bennett Lake excursions.
Way over there is Skagway Harbor, Inspiration Point. Oh, smokes. Look at that river, huh? It's down there, that's for sure.
We're so high at this point. No trees.
At mile 17.5, we reach Dead Horse Gulch, named for the thousands of pack animals that died along the White Pass Trail during the Klondike Gold Rush. The remains of the original railroad trestle are still visible today, crossing this deep gulch beside us. At mile 18.6, we're headed to Steel Bridge, which was completed in 1901 and was once the tallest cantilever bridge in the world. However, in 1969, the railroad replaced it with a new bridge and carved this 675-foot tunnel through the mountain.
Look at that bridge. Oh my gosh, Grace. We're going into another tunnel.
Coming out of the tunnel and looking back down the valley one more time, it's really hard to imagine what the Stampeders faced. Every mile we have climbed by train, they climbed on foot, carrying nearly a ton of supplies through this unforgiving wilderness in search of gold.
There's some snow up here. Check that snow out.
White Pass Summit is mile marker 20.4 and the highest point on the White Pass and Yukon route. During the gold rush, mounted police stationed here only allowed Stampeders to continue north after proving they have carried enough supplies to survive for 1 year.
Crossing the border. U.S.-Canada border. Oh, Canada.
This incredible scenery that you're seeing right now is following the exact same route as passengers who booked the Summit Excursion. So if you're wondering whether you'd see these views on your shorter tour, the answer is yes. Don't worry, you aren't missing the famous waterfalls, the dramatic cliffs, or those incredible bridges. Everything we've experienced so far is part of both excursions.
There you go.
Oh, so awesome.
Unbelievable.
Look at the tree line. It's so small now.
Because we're so high. All right, I'm going to get some more video in.
Okay.
As we continue through this amazing scenery, we just want to stop for a moment and say thank you for watching our video. If you're planning an Alaska cruise or just enjoy coming along with us, please consider subscribing to Hubbards Journey. And just so you know, we're not paid by the cruise line, the railroad, or any tour operator. We simply enjoy helping other cruisers plan the best experience for their trip. Therefore, your support, likes, comments really do help our channel and allow us to keep sharing honest cruise and excursion experiences like this one. We've now arrived at Fraser, British Columbia at mile marker 27.7. And for some, this is where the excursion ends, and they will transfer to a motorcoach. So passengers choosing the shorter Summit Excursion will still experience nearly all of the railroad's famous landmarks. But today, because we are continuing north to Bennett Lake, we remain on board while the Canadian Custom officers check our passports to clear the train for continuation.
Now folks, as we get moving here, I did just want you to get a layout of the rest of our itinerary into Carcross here. So right now we are at milepost 27.7, Fraser, British Columbia, and we are going to make our way to Lake Bennett at milepost 40. There, you'll all be able to step off the train for a little while and explore a historical town site from the Klondike Gold Rush. Then you will all board the train, we will serve you lunch, and then we will head on over to Carcross at milepost 67. In the meantime, though, we are going to be traveling along a beautiful series of lakes here. This also includes Middle Lake and Shallow Lake. Now, it just now has become completely melted. Even just last week, this lake was frozen over. But now that it's melted, we will often see kayakers here enjoying the pristine waters of beautiful British Columbia.
So what actually changes after we reach the summit? Well, that's what we were wondering too. So let's keep going. This is where the two excursions finally separate. Most passengers begin the return to Skagway, but we're continuing north towards Bennett, following the same route thousands of stampeders traveled during the Klondike Gold Rush.
2,100 feet in the air, above sea level. 2,100 feet above sea level. And there's lakes all over the place up here.
We're in Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Beyond the summit, the landscape starts to change. More wilderness, and it really begins to feel like you've left the busiest part of the railroad behind.
Klondike Highway. That was Klondike Highway.
When gold was discovered in the Yukon in 1896, thousands of hopeful prospectors headed north. But reaching the gold fields wasn't as simple as stepping onto a boat. They first had to cross mountains like these, carrying nearly a ton of supplies required by the Canadian government before they were even allowed to continue. Many of those stampeders crossed White Pass on foot through the snow, mud, rain, and steep mountain trails. It was an exhausting journey that could take days or even weeks. Eventually, those travelers reached Bennett, but that wasn't the end of the journey. It was just where the next chapter began. Now, one important thing to note about this journey, you'll get a Bennett walking tour brochure that the crew will hand out. And honestly, because we were so focused on catching all the scenery, we honestly didn't think much of it. But looking back, we wish we had looked at it a little bit more before arriving. This guide points out the history behind the buildings, explains why Bennett became one of the most important stops during the Klondike Gold Rush, and even includes a nice walking map through the townsite. With only 30 to 45 minutes to explore Bennett, you're going to want to maximize your time to see what's most important to you. If you're taking this excursion, we recommend spending a few minutes looking through this brochure before you arrive or before you even take the excursion, because knowing the story behind Bennett makes this stop so much more meaningful. At Bennett, British Columbia at mile marker 40.6, we reach a historic townsite. But what we didn't expect was this kind of a greeting at the station. Yep, a black bear was there to welcome us. The crew kept us on the train for a few minutes until he finally moseyed on along. And then it was our turn to go out and explore Bennett.
Now folks, our train is going to come to a stop right here in front of the museum.
Right here at the train depot is the museum. The artifacts here help tell the story of Bennett during the gold rush. It doesn't take long to explore, but it gives you a nice appreciation for what this community once was.
This is where the bear is, down here.
So, Michael running away. We don't have a lot of time here. We're at Bennett Station, Bennett Lake, and we just got off the train. And there was a bear here, so they delayed us for a few minutes. But we're gonna try and make our way up to St. Andrew's Church. Take a look. Let's go.
We decided to take the short walk up the mountainside to the overlook.
Totem poles they haven't revealed yet.
There was actually another reason why I wanted to take this excursion to Bennett, BC, that I haven't shared until now.
You got to get a picture of that.
My namesake.
You see, my maiden name is Bennett, and growing up, we had a lake house in New Hampshire that I spent nearly every weekend and summer vacation there. It was, and still is, one of my favorite places in the world. So when I saw that there was an excursion that went all the way to a place called Bennett Lake, well, it just felt like one of those places we needed to experience.
Let's go.
We're in Bennett World here in the British Columbia.
Bennett was my maiden name. That's my family name.
That's
so
right.
I'm very happy to be here, experience this. We're headed up to the church here, St. Andrew's Presbyterian
It's pretty
Church.
freaking
I think
cool.
they said the 1900s, is that right?
Yeah, I'm looking, it looks like OK Corral.
Apparently this used to be a very bustling area.
Gold Rush area.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully we don't see that bear.
This is pretty cool. Yeah, there is a bear roaming around here. You just gotta be careful.
Yeah.
And walking up to this old church, looking over the lake, almost felt like stepping back in time. Although Bennett was once a bustling gold rush town, today only a handful of historic buildings still remain.
Look at all the old cans here.
Yeah, they said that it's not debris, you're not supposed to pick them up. That's from all the
It's just from the time period.
rush period, yeah.
It's not even replica, it's stuff that was here during the gold rush. I'm huffing and puffing. Andrea's behind me somewhere. Oh, here she is. Don't forget, you're in bear country. Whew. Whew. Wait until you see these views.
And standing up here, the scenery was beautiful, and we were so glad that we were able to experience it. When we were standing there looking out over the view, we couldn't help but think how much my mom and dad would have loved visiting this beautiful place. And considering my dad also loved trains, I have a feeling he would have really enjoyed the ride getting here too.
You made it.
I want to be stuck in the Yukon. Come on. And there was a black bear at the back of the train too. We don't. Oh, be careful. Let's go.
Michael's making me run down the hill. He thinks we're the last ones on the top of the mountain. He keeps making noises like the train's leaving. I gotta pay attention. Oh, where is he? Michael tried to get inside the church to take a peek, and we are definitely gonna be the last people on the board now. You better get going.
I took a video inside the church. I hope it came out. Oh boy! Oh boy, hurry up!
Better hurry.
I told you the train was leaving. We need to get trucking here. We don't want to get stuck in the Yukon. We might run into Cornelius. Isn't it Cornelius Bennett? I think his name is Cornelius Bennett. Andrew. I've never seen her run this fast. Really, I've never seen her run this fast. All you gotta do is blow the train horn. Oh, it's just beautiful. surrounded by mountains. Beautiful lake. We're on 360. All aboard!
Let's go!
Train's leaving.
Time, we're to come through, serve your lunches. In the meantime, though, on our left side is the beautiful Lake Bennett. This will be following us for the rest of our journey.
I took one final look outside as we left Bennett Station, but inside, our boxed lunches were being served. Approximately 30,000 Stampeders spent the winter of 1898 and 1899 building makeshift rafts and boats. When the lake thawed, they crossed Lake Bennett and continued down the river towards the Klondike goldfields.
What you got there, Hubbard?
It looks like a turkey sandwich, and it looks like there's stuff on it. Did you put more stuff on it?
No, I didn't put any stuff on it. I just ate it the way it was. It has a little bit of something on there.
After we finished our lunch, we headed back outside again to take in the views. Leaving Bennett, the railroad follows the shoreline north towards Carcross in the Yukon Territory.
Bennett Lake up there.
Bennett Lake!
The busy gold rush townsite was now behind us. The landscape quickly returned to quiet wilderness. For the Stampeders, launching their boats at Bennett only began the next challenge. They faced nearly 500 miles of lakes and rivers before reaching Dawson City. Every boat was weighed down with the supplies that they had worked so hard to bring across the mountains. Some never made it. Strong winds, freezing water, hidden rocks, rapids, and simple exhaustion claimed many of those makeshift boats before the gold fields were ever reached. A little further north, we crossed another important milestone, the border between British Columbia and the Yukon Territory. The Yukon is enormous. At nearly 186,000 square miles, it is larger than California, Germany, or Japan. Yet fewer than 50,000 people call it home.
Yeah, I see it.
And tucked beside the water was this small Yukon sign, something we could have easily have missed had we not been alerted by the crew to look for it.
We're in the Yukon. Look at the side of that mountain. Holy smokes. Does that look like a landslide off the side of that mountain?
As we near the end of our railroad portion of our journey, we want to thank the White Pass and Yukon Route crew for such a memorable passage. They took great care of us throughout the day and helped bring both the railroad and the gold rush history to life. We're incredibly grateful we had the opportunity to travel the entire route from Skagway through Bennett all the way to Carcross. As the train rounded the final bend toward Carcross, the long mountain valley began to open up to a broader landscape, with the small community appearing across the water. The final approach carried us past the sandy shoreline and this wooden footbridge before the train completed its journey in Carcross, Yukon Territory at mile marker 67.5. Jumping off the train, we briefly met with our bus driver and got instructions at which time we needed to be back on the bus before our return trip. Our final major stop is Carcross, Yukon Territory. We made it to the end. This historic gold rush community has a general store, the steam locomotive Duchess on display, indigenous artwork, and several small establishments to grab souvenirs or something to eat or drink.
Bistro on Bennett. Geez, that looked good. Oh, it smells good too.
With a little free time to explore, I grabbed a coffee and Michael found a local Yukon beer.
Why do you always seem higher than me? I always seem low, like, little, what the hell, why I gotta look up to you? Every freaking time. I don't know what the deal is.
I don't know.
Cheers.
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 We are in Carcross?
Yes. So this is the end of the line for our train portion of our trip.
Yeah, it's Carcross, Yukon Territory in Canada. And it is just amazing here. It's a beautiful little city or a town. And they've got this little bar here, restaurant bar.
I got coffee right down the way.
She got a coffee down the street and I'm having a beer here. Beer's not that great. The beer we had yesterday, we had a sour yesterday, a blueberry sour.
No, it wasn't blueberry.
That wasn't blueberry?
Mm-mm. We called it like a Hawaiian snow cone. It had like a fruity sour.
Where the heck
like
did we have
tropical.
the blueberry?
Oh, the blueberry beer? That was in
That was-
Ketchikan.
Oh, I thought it was there.
Ketchikan.
I'm telling you, when you sail Alaska, every day blends into another day because it's go, 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 go. And you're going to bed as soon as you get home. You eat, go to bed, wake up, get back out. And we're talking not like 6 o'clock in the morning. We're talking about you got to get up at 4 a.m., get ready, get beautified.
We're tired.
Am I right?
Yeah. But we've had an amazing 3 days of great weather, beautiful sights.
Absolutely. So this is a local beer, Grizzly beer, here in the Yukon. I don't think it's that great.
Hey, it just tastes like a regular beer to me. So we went through Bennett Lake. That was amazing. And it was pretty cool because my family name is Bennett. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of history and see where the name comes from.
There's probably some English gold prospector.
My family is from England.
It could have been like how the British, they basically owned, 99% of the world at one time. And it might have been at that time. Because Canada is controlled by, the monarchy is a part of Canada.
Yeah.
So the Bennett name may be from England roots.
Well, I know mine is.
Mine is more from, I believe is Canadian, but
Other side, right?
yeah, the other side, the
Canada.
Nova Scotia, around there.
Yeah. They said there's like sourdough cinnamon rolls. Sounded really good. There's a place down the way, so
I'd like to make sure we have some time to grab one.
Let's see what time it is. Yeah, we got time. We gotta get trucking like right now.
Soon.
I say right now, she says soon. We gotta go like now. Well, soon. Man, thanks for coming. 100 steps that way. That's it, just 100. It's sour since 1890 this way. This must get muddy here, I bet. This is the bakery, right? I guess we're gonna go get some sourdough. You know what you're getting? Oh, she's over there for that.
Yummy. She knows what she wants.
Oh man, look at that. Ay, ay, ay. Looks sticky.
Yeah, look at it. We have a lot more before we forgot to say
What's happening, guys? Did you get your sourdough? We're doing it now. Holy smokes.
I took it to go, but I had to have a bite.
Tell the bus driver we'll be right there. It's got to be delicious. How is it?
It's really good. Here you go.
$8.50 Canadian,
Goodness.
but it's good. It's real good. It's still warm. She said this just came out of the oven.
I did.
You giving that to me?
Nope.
Oh, jeez, I had all kinds of caramel.
One more bite and then we'll take it.
Oh, no, we gotta finish that.
We're gonna finish it here?
Yeah, we're gonna kill this thing. This is the outdoor patio area. If you're here, you gotta stop for some of that sourdough. But we came later because the whole group came here first. She said there were like 400 people here. She got slammed. Chilkoot Bakery. I didn't even realize we were on a Holland America bus.
Yeah, it's branded like that. It's Holland America and Princess combined.
Yeah.
But they only say Holland America. Like none of them say.
That's okay. That's okay.
The one thing we were curious about before booking this excursion was whether or not the bus return would feel like a downgrade after such an incredible train ride. But it really didn't. While the tracks end here in Carcross, the scenery definitely doesn't. The drive follows the South Klondike Highway, winding through mountain valleys, along lakes, and back towards the White Pass. It's a completely different perspective than we were experiencing from the train, so even on the ride back, there's still plenty to see. The bus driver stopped at an overlook on Tushy Lake. The wind was definitely reminding us we were in the mountains, but the views were absolutely worth stepping off the bus for a few minutes. While the ride back to the port wasn't chocked full of exciting things to see and do, it was quite beautiful, and it was a nice opportunity for us to sit back and relax and reflect on the scenery we saw all around us. Soon we realized we were back in Fraser. This is where the White Pass turns around and heads back south, and we saw a White Pass train getting ready to leave. And then came one unexpected Alaska moment. Someone spotted a black bear just off the highway.
On the other side of the
Okay,
Right there.
feel free to try to come up. I'll put the bus in park so you can come all the way down the stairs.
Oh, wow.
If anybody wants to hop out, no, that was a joke. I'm sorry.
Look, he doesn't even care about us.
There must be food of some
There's
sort.
gotta
That's the
be
same
some-
view we had on the other shot.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. Look. Oh, there he is. Look. Wow.
See, you can tell he's been being fed by there's nothing phased.
He doesn't want to look at us.
Okay, did everybody get pictures of it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out of the way so that this other bus can have a chance to take a look at it.
It's fine.
But hopefully everybody got some pictures, videos.
So our driver safely pulled into the turnaround. It wasn't a planned stop, but it was definitely one that became the highlight of the drive back. And what seemed like no time, we passed into Alaska, briefly stopping at the Welcome to Alaska sign, a quick stop through the U.S. port entry for customs, and we are officially back in Alaska. On our way back into the port area, we drove through downtown Skagway. It has been a very long day, but one we'll remember for a very long time. So, should you book the Summit Excursion or take the train all the way to Lake Bennett? Well, if your goal is simply to experience the White Pass Railroad, incredible mountain scenery, and those iconic bridges and waterfalls, the Summit Excursion delivers everything most visitors come to see. But if you enjoy a full day adventure and want to experience the quieter wilderness beyond the summit, explore historic Bennett, spend time in Carcross, and don't mind a longer day, we think the Bennett Lake Excursion offers a more complete experience. So let us know in the comments if you would choose the shorter summer excursion, or would you spend the full day going all the way to Bennett Lake? We'd really love to hear which one you would pick.
And you also see just past it, we have a train engine right next to a snowblower. The snowblower has 10-foot steel blades. It is massive. It looks like something straight out of a movie.
But back at the port, we decided to get in line and get a shuttle to get back on the boat.
So we just got back from our excursion. This is the line to get on the shuttle bus to the cruise ship. It's going, the line's still going. Do we have time to go to town? Hey, what's happening? How are you? We're getting on the open air shuttle. Woohoo!
It's the ship shuttle.
The ship shuttle. Not the shit shuttle. The ship shuttle.
If this video helped you decide which White Pass train excursion might be right for you, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you're still planning your Alaska cruise and wondering what other excursions are worth booking, be sure to check out our Cruising to Alaska playlist. This is where we take you along with us for more unforgettable port days, sea days, and excursions. From helicopter ride into the Glacier to exploring Alaska's ports on foot. We also highlight embarkation ports and exploration, and some of the places that made us fall in love with cruising this beautiful part of the country. And let us know what excursions you have done in Alaska, or what would be the one thing you're most excited to see on your Alaska cruise? Is it glacier calving, whales, bears, bald eagles, sea lions, or maybe a little bit of it all? And if you like cruising, travel, and coming along with us as we explore the world one adventure at a time, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next on Hubbards Journey. And until next time, thank you for coming along on our journey. Ciao for now. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching, but there's more to explore,
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
so you never miss any adventures.
Click on one of these videos to keep the journey going.
And this is where I say ciao for now.
We'll see you soon.